What is going on, Trash Talkers? We are back with another episode for you. Today we have some breaking news in the NFL. The New York Jets have traded quarterback Sam Darnold to the Carolina Panthers for some draft picks. We're going to go into all the trade details that you need to know and how this implicates all the different things that it's going to reverberate through the NFL. All that and much more coming your way right now! All right, Nick. Well, we just got the breaking news that Sam Darnold is now headed from the Big Apple to the Carolina Panthers. And this is coming as a little bit of a shock. I expected this to actually happen on draft night. I thought, by the time this date rolled around, that if he wasn't traded, he wasn't getting traded until the draft time because Joe Douglas wanted to make sure that the medical history for Zach Wilson came back clean. He wanted to make sure that everything lined up for them in the draft. And I guess Joe Douglas feels comfortable now saying that, you know what, we don't need Sam Darnold. We're going to take whatever we can get for him now. Carolina needed a quarterback, and it seemed like they were the number one fit for him.
Yeah, he absolutely seems comfortable with Zach Wilson, even with that injury history. And although he may be a replication of Sam Darnold, this is a time for them to completely restart with Zach Wilson, with Robert Saleh now controlling the entire team. It should be great for the Jets. They acquire 3 picks in this trade, a 2021 6th-round pick, so this year's 6th-round pick from the Panthers, and next year's 2022 2nd and 4th-round picks. So the Jets are getting some good pieces back for Sam Darnold, a little bit more than we actually expected them to get back for him, but it's over time. It's not all coming this year, so that's why they get a little bit extra for this trade, is because they have to wait to acquire those picks. But what this means now for the Carolina Panthers is, what do you do at quarterback? You have Teddy Bridgewater for another 2 years. So is he the quarterback or is it Sam Darnold? My guess is it's going to be a competition for Matt Rule. Matt Rule is going to see how they both work in the system, how they do this offseason, and who he wants to roll with. I fully expect him to hold on to the second quarterback as a backup and possibly use them as a trading piece by the trade deadline, depending on who's looking for a quarterback. Specifically, the Washington football team and the Chicago Bears are really the last 2 teams in the league who are looking for a starter come next season. Andy Dalton was named QB1 for the Bears, but I'm not sold that he's the guy. And Ryan Fitzpatrick still has to earn the job, and I would still bet on a guy like Ron Rivera to call on Matt Rule to say, hey, I need Teddy Bridgewater in my system. I don't believe in any of the guys I have under contract. So I think there is going to be some interesting fallout over the course of the offseason to see who the starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers is next season.
I mean, just taking a look at all of this, you mentioned the Chicago Bears, you mentioned the Washington football team. Let me throw the Denver Broncos in there as well. Is Drew Lock really the guy? Are they sold on Drew Lock leading this franchise for the future? I mean, they can be thrust into that conversation as well. But let me take us back to where this all starts, and that's at the NFL draft, right? These draft picks are, let's break it down. They get a 6th-round pick this year, which is almost negligible at that point. Then you take a look at next year. They get a 2nd and a 4. Well, if Sam Darnold was set to hit free agency, in 2 years, they would have gotten a 3rd-round compensatory pick anyway. So the 2nd and the 4 kind of that just brings that 3rd-round pick to up a year. I mean, they basically got what they were going to get for letting him walk out the door anyway. So Joe Douglas makes his decision now. We are drafting a quarterback at 2. We're in the prime position to do so. Sam Darnold gets to move on with a team that he can grow with in Matt Rule. They get a quarterback that they trust and know. And you know what? It works out for all the parties around. But let's look at the teams that it didn't work out for, right? We're taking a look at the Chicago Bears, who still need a quarterback, Washington, who needs a quarterback. Now this kind of opens up. Does New England have to trade up to number 4? Does Washington and Chicago, do they make a move for number 4, number 5, number 7? Those are the picks that are available. So I guess let's start with the easiest questions. What does this mean moving forward in the draft?
Well, we have to start off with the Carolina Panthers. Now we know they're not going to go after our quarterback. They're not going to try to move up to 2 with the Jets to try to get a guy like Zach Wilson. They're going to get Sam Darnold. So sitting at 8, they're looking at the defense. They need to fix up this defense. This is the biggest priority for them. And right off the bat, I'm thinking Micah Parsons. You need to replace Luke Kuechly, that they have not done. And Micah Parsons is as close to it as Luke Kuechly as you're going to get for a long time. And Micah Parsons, he just had a stellar pro day showing off his sub 4.4 speed, and his reaction time to the run and pass game at Penn State was unbelievable. He could be huge for this defense. Put him alongside his former running mate in Yetur Gross-Matos. That could be exactly what this defense needs to get the ball rolling. This could be exactly what the Carolina Panthers need to put themselves above the Atlanta Falcons, and in the realm of conversation, are they better than the New Orleans Saints at this point?
I mean that's a great question, and one that we'll have to explore moving forward. But as of right now, we take a look at where the draft order lies. At number 1, the Jacksonville Jaguars; number 2, the New York Jets; and then at number 3, the San Francisco 49ers. Those 3 picks are locked up now. Those 3 teams are not moving. The first pick that can be moved is the Atlanta Falcons at 4, possibly the Cincinnati Bengals at 5. The number 6 pick is the Miami Dolphins, and then at number 7, it has been rumored that the Detroit Lions are looking to move backward as well and accrue more draft assets. So if we take a look at what teams can move up, like I've already mentioned, Chicago, Washington, New England are the only 3 teams now still looking for the quarterback of the future. Those are the teams that you look forward to move up in this draft, because we have 5 quarterbacks that are worthy of a first round draft grade. And you're taking a look at, okay, Trevor Lawrence is gone, Zach Wilson is gone, and it's assumed that Mac Jones will be the selection for the San Francisco 49ers. That leaves Justin Fields and Trey Lance for 3 teams. So which teams are hungry enough to now make that move and say, you know what, we are locking it up. We are grabbing the players that we want. Because Carolina was never going to be able to move to the number 4 pick. The Atlanta Falcons were never going to concede to the Carolina Panthers and say, yeah, we'll give you the selection that you want to go grab the quarterback of the future that we have to play twice a year. That was never going to happen. So the Carolina Panthers, they had to make this move. They get Sam Darnold, who in my eyes is still an unproven quarterback. He still has a lot to prove, and he's only 23 years old in the NFL. He has 3 years of starting experience. He's worked with some of the worst coaches in the NFL, in Adam Gase and some of the offensive coordinators that he has had. Now he goes into Matt Rule's system, which is much more of a college type of system, something he excelled at USC. Let's look for him to kind of replicate what he was able to do on the West Coast and see if he can bring that to the NFL and bring back some success to his name.
There's so much going on right now with the Carolina Panthers and the New York Jets. There is a lot more clarity going into the draft now with that number 2 selection. The Jets will be staying put. We now have the first 3 picks pretty much locked in at this point. Now it's just a matter of who's going to be moving up at this point, if at all. Is it even worth it anymore? And right now it doesn't seem like it's really worth it at all.
That's right. And I'm going to leave it up to you guys, all the trash talkers out there. Let us know what you think of this. Who do you think won this trade? The New York Jets or the Carolina Panthers? Or do you think they both won? Or do you think they both lost? Let us know down in the comment section below. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel. Let's get it popping. I want to see this video. I want to see this video hit 50 likes. If we can get 50 likes, I'm very excited to bring more content like this to you guys. All right, but that's going to do it for now. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. We go live every single day. That'll be all. Peace and love.